Alagang Amoso, Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Ang programang para sa mga Filipino seafarers at kanilang pamilya. Maghahatid ng impormasyon, magbibigay ng inspirasyon, at tatalakay sa kanilang mga sitwasyon, kalagayan at iba pang mga pangangailangan. Alagang Amoso. Kasama si Camille Simbulan dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Magandang araw po sa lahat ng ating mga tagapakinig at lalo na sa ating mga ka-Amosup. Nandito na naman po tayo sa Alagang Amosup, ang serbisyo publiko sa radyong hatid ng The Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines o Amosup at ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Sa ngalan ng ating program host na si Miss Camille Simbulan, ako po si Lara San Juan. Sa programang ito ay pag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang programs and welfare services ng Amosup para sa mga miyembro at dependents ng ating union at nagfi-feature din tayo dito ng mga natatanging marino na maaaring magbahagi ng kanilang journey at sea. Tayo rin po ay live sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service Facebook page, kaya shoutout po to all the members and dependents of Amosup. At bago natin simulan ang ating kwentuhan, isang maligayang pagbati po ng bagong taon sa ating mga tagapakinig at sa ating mga ka-Amosup at kababayan abroad. Kamusta naman po ang ating New Year? Ano po ba ang inyong mga New Year's resolution o pangako sa bagong taon na ito? Ayan, abangan po natin sa susunod na episode. Pero ngayong araw, samahan niyo muna kami sa ating unang episode para sa taong 2025. Ating simulan ng taon na ito sa isang mahalagang talakayan na pinamagatang Smooth Sailing for All, a Just and Equitable Transition in the Maritime Industry. Tatalakayin natin kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng just and equitable transition at kung paano ito makakaapekto sa ating mga seafarers, maritime workers at buong industriya. Ano nga ba ang mga hamon? Ano ang mga oportunidad? Sasamahan tayo ng isang eksperto mula sa maritime industry, ating abangan kaya't manatiling nakatutok dito lamang sa ating programang Alagang Amosup.
Walang maiiwan kasama nyo kahit saan dahil pamilya tayo dito. Alagang Amoso sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Ayan, so ang ating special guest for today's Alagang Amosup episode ay alumnus ng Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific, Bachelor of Science in Marine Engineering. Siya po ay isang maritime educator at isang former seafarer with experience on board sa bulk and general cargo vessels as engineer officer for 6 years. He has also served po in various functions on shore such as technical marine superintendent, content creator, maritime journalist, training instructor, and now curriculum developer and instructor. O diba? Bongga ang ating guest for today. And eto na, he recently graduated from the World Maritime University with a master's degree in maritime affairs specializing in maritime energy management. At siya rin po ay graduate as best graduate na kanilang batch, no, in maritime energy management. Congratulations ulit sa'yo. So, currently, he is active with Amosup and ITF on research studies and initiatives in line with the capacity building of seafarers in preparation for decarbonization and other future trends. So, wag na natin pagtumpik-tumpik pa. Live natin siyang makakausap via Zoom. Let us all welcome Engineer Mautse Bayotas. Welcome po to Alagang Amosup, Engineer.
Thank you, Miss Lara. Good afternoon and good afternoon din po sa lahat ng mga tagapakinig po. Thank you.
Alright.
All aboard sa talakayan. Palalimin pa ang inyong kaalaman. Alagang Amoso dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Engineer Mautse, simulan na natin ang talakayan, no? Kamusta ka naman pala, bago natin simulan ang ating talakayan, kamusta ang iyong New Year?
Okay naman po. Nakapagpahinga before going back here in Maap for work.
So nasa Bataan po kayo ngayon?
Opo. Nasa Maap na ako ngayon.
Okay. So by the way po, para sa ating mga tagapakinig, ang MAAP po ay ang maritime institution ng ating union, which is the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific. And currently, faculty po si Engineer Mautse po doon. Tama po, Engineer?
Yes po, Ma'am Lara.
So, ang ating topic for today, sisimulan natin sa ano nga ba ang kahulugan ng just and equitable transition sa maritime industry at bakit ito mahalaga?
So yung just and equitable transition, actually there are many definitions when it comes to that one. Nagkakaiba lang is who are you asking for that definition. But for the seafarers and usually for all the workers out there, the just and equitable transition is a concept wherein amidst the different changes, the different revolution that is now ongoing in the maritime industry, let us make sure that all stakeholders are going forward at the same pace and no one is being left behind. So that was the original definition, and it was initiated by the workers union, but apparently right now there are several definitions that are already looming out there. So merong definition yung ating mga ship owners, may definition yung ating mga government agencies and so on and so forth. But the original definition was authored by the workers union. And then what is the significance of the just and equitable transition? Because currently, kahit sa industry, aside from the maritime industry, is we are all going through changes. And the buzzword right now is decarbonization, digitalization, and the different transitions that we are already experiencing right now. And the significance of that one is that usually those who are main players, the top players who holds the influence and who holds the resources, usually they are the ones who are taking advantage and who have been considered in priority in the midst of these changes. So what is happening is at the bottom in the primary workforce unit, especially the seafarers, are being left out of the discussion and therefore being left out of the trend. So ngayon, meron tayong na-experience ng mga seafarers natin who are lacking trainings. Meron tayong mga seafarers who are experiencing less vacation time because of the extended training period that are required of them because of these new technologies on board. So there are several impacts, and these are slowly affecting our seafarers. So right now, that is the main issue. This is the just transition. And then it taken center stage because I think the COVID pandemic was the catalyst of making the just transition a center stage, because as we all know, the welfare of the seafarers during that time was focused because of the extended contract on board and then the different changes that is happening in the regulation and the technology side. So I think that was the major factors that came in that made this issue a significant one.
Okay, so nabanggit mo, engineer, yung decarbonization. Can you briefly explain sa ating mga listeners kung ano yung decarbonization na tina-target ng maritime industry for the just transition?
So for the decarbonization, apparently the magic word there is the 1.5 degrees Celsius increase of the global temperature. So the maritime industry as a whole is contributing at least 3% of the GHG, greenhouse gas emission. So I know it's a very insignificant number, but then in order to do the decarbonization, everyone must decarbonize. So decarbonization is the transition wherein from an carbon-intensive operation, we are slowly reducing our operation through cutting our consumption or cutting our waste or the exhaust that we are contributing to the atmosphere by lowering the carbon footprint. So that is the carbonization.
Okay, thank you so much. Sa mga nabanggit ni Engineer, ano naman yung papel ng Union, like AMOSUP, gobyerno at pribadong sektor sa pagpapadali ng makatarungan at pantay na transition?
I think the union will play a critical role. Siyempre, it will be in collaboration with other stakeholders, as you have said, Mablara, the government, and the other institutions. But the union can spearhead and intervene when it comes to the policy development, especially in the IMO level. Kasi meron tayong doong representative from the ITF, but ITF is an observer. The union can collaborate with the administration, which is the Philippines, kasi si Philippines is a member state of the IMO, so mas maraming say si yung Philippine as a member state of the IMO than ITF, but ITF and the Philippines can work together for position papers na mag-propose ng mga policies that can also help the seafarers cope up with the transition. And then eventually, the union can have their own initiatives. Kagaya ngayon na we are starting the capacity development. So way back June, when I was in the World Maritime University, I collaborated with AMUSUP na makapagbigay tayo ng training for decarbonization sa ating mga seafarers. So I think meron na tayong 60
Yes.
AMUSUP members natin who have participated, and I think that is the stepping stone, first steps na matulungan natin yung ating mga seafarers that they can acquire the skills and the different competencies that they need for the future.
Yan. Do kahit na 60 lang yan, no? Kasi kami din sa Union, kapag nagdi-discuss kami sa mga audience, regardless the number, parang kahit konti lang sila, yung knowledge nila, pwede nilang i-share, no? Sa kanilang mga crew, lalo na pag nagpunta kami sa mga sailors home, no? Makwento yung mga seafarers natin na yan.
Yes, snowballing effect. Parang
Yes.
gagawin.
Yes. So, ngayon naman, engineer, paano naman makaambag yung mga seafarers natin, no? At iba pang maritime workers sa sustainable future ng industry? Kasi usually, kapag nagtasalita kami, sinasabi namin na merong initiative ang AMUSUP about just transition, hindi nila naiintindihan. So, paano naman sila makakaambag dito?
I think the seafarers are the main element when it comes to the movements towards decarbonization, because from the top, let's say, magsisimula tayo sa IMO. IMO are all making the policies. The ship owners are abiding with the policies, and they're making their company policies in line with the IMO policies and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the seafarers are the one who will be executing at the operational level. So, baliwala yung mga policies, baliwala yung mga company regulations if yung mga mismong taon katrabaho sa barko will not abide by that. So they are the primary workforce unit. Sabi ko nga, we are the primary element of decarbonization. Kasi nga, tayo mga seafarers, tayo mag-operate ng makina, tayo mag-operate ng barko.
Yes.
At the most efficient route, at the most efficient parameters as possible para mapababa yung ating carbon footprint. And at the end of the day, itong mga bagong technologies that will come on board, sino mag-ooperate? Tayo pa rin, mga seafarers. So seafarers is at the center of everything. Sabi ko nga, parang lang yan parang pyramid. Yung mga nasa taas, hindi makaka-action kapag wala yung foundation o wala yung primary workforce unit. So mga seafarers, we are the agents, we're the primary agents of decarbonization. And then sa ating trabaho, sa paggawa ng ating trabaho, the most efficient way and the most environmental friendly way possible, tayo ay nakaka-contribute towards decarbonization and just transition.
Okay. So moving forward naman, engineer, ano-ano naman yung mga future trends sa industry na makaka-impluwensya sa just transition? At ano yung mga magiging epekto nito sa mga mandaragat na Pilipino?
So based on my study, kasi yung trends na yan, that was also included in my dissertation study as part of my program in WMU. And based sa results ng study, ang mga trends in the future, ang number one is decarbonization, which is followed by digitalization. And then we have the advanced materials. And lastly, we have the autonomous ships.
Yes.
So itong mga apat na to, so itong decarbonization, explain ko na ata. Digitalization is yung ating mga computer application software, ganun, sa onboard ship. And then yung ating advanced materials, these are the 3D and 4D printing. We have the nanotech, biotech, ayun, yung self-healing ng mga materials. And lastly, the autonomous ships, which is gaining a buzz right now. Siyempre, yung walang katao-tao ng mga barko.
Yes.
So these are the trends in the future in chronological order. So we can expect in the near future, meron na tayong mga solar-powered vessel, meron tayong wind-assisted vessel, meron na tayong mga methanol-powered vessel, biofuel-powered vessel, and we can have more sophisticated application, we have more sophisticated technologies on board. So the seafarers have a lot to prepare for in the future.
So, sa mga paghahanda na to, ano naman yung pwedeng gawin ng mga marinong Pilipino para mas lalong mapaghandaan nila yung mga trends na ito?
So sabi ko kanina, Ma'am Lara, it's not like a solitary effort to be able to achieve these kinds of things. It should be a collaborative effort. But again, in the seafarers, they can or we can also do things in our own small way. So first and foremost is that we have to be committed for lifelong learning. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng lifelong learning? Yung lifelong learning, ibig sabihin, education doesn't stop at the four walls of the education institution.
Yes.
So kahit graduate na, you need to attend trainings, you need to read more books, resources in order to also upgrade yourself for these incoming technologies. And then pangalawa, that the seafarers should also should have a self-initiative. Okay, so kapag meron silang bagong technology na encounter on board, they should have the initiative to learn about this new technology. They should have the initiative to maximize this new technology. And lastly, seafarers should be adaptive or adaptable for this change. So hindi pwede na you are satisfied with what you already learned. So kailangan continuous din yung progress mo, continuous yung pag-upgrade ng sarili mo. And then eventually, the seafarers can prepare themselves in their own little way when it comes to these kinds of changes.
Okay, so maganda yung sinabi mo, engineer, no, na we don't stop learning kasi like ang trends din kasi ng mga seafarers natin, kahit sasampa sila or bababa sila, every time meron silang training, no, na ginagawa. Like we have PIDOS every kada sampa nila. Tapos kung gusto nila mag-upgrade ng skills, we have like kailangan nila mag-avail ng mga trainings and pag-aral. Tama ba?
Yes po.
Yes. So, since may oras pa tayo, engineer, matanong na lang din kita, no? Since para malaman ng ating mga tagapakinig na as an alumnus of MAAP, so paano mo naisipan na maging seafarer?
Actually, hindi ko talaga personal na dream yung pagiging seafarer. I think it's just a matter of practicality because our family is not that well off, and my father told me na, hey, kung mag-UP ka, wala akong pang-aral sa'yo, you have to provide for yourself. So sabi ko, parang mahirap ata, sige, mag-MAAP. And then afterwards, I can provide for myself. So that was the story of how I became son of Poseidon and being introduced to the seafaring world. And then siguro, if I can advise for the listeners, especially the younger generation, is that kung wala ka pang, alam mo yun, gustong gawin sa buhay mo, then seafaring is a very, very safe and very rewarding profession that you can opt to while you are figuring things out. And then maybe at the middle of your journey, then you can find, seafaring is the one for me, diba? Then you can continue, diba? And if you have other choices in mind, then you can use the earnings kasi malaki yung kita sa seafaring to as a stepping stone towards another path that you want to take.
Yeah,
So I think seafaring is a very rewarding profession, and right now I'm not very active in seafaring, like on board ship, but I'm active in seafaring in the maritime industry here on shore, especially in ITF and AMS. So ayun lang.
Yes, very inspiring yung story mo, no, na kahit hindi mo siya initially inisip, pero naging passionate ka na dun sa industriya na pinag-aralan mo, no, engineer. So, kasi, bago rin ako dito sa maritime industry, dalawa kasi yung sa MAAP, like we have the engineering and the transportation. So, ano ba like yung, para lang merong idea yung mga aspiring young seafarers natin, ano ba yung like main difference na yan na parang kung mamimili sila in the future, ano ba yung tatahakin ko, engineering ba or transportation?
Siguro on a lighter side. Kung ayaw mong madumihan, then go for the marine transportation. And if you want to, yung bata ka pa, paragi kang pinapagalitan kasi kinakalit mo yung mga laruan mo or sinisira mo, then marine engineering might be good for you. But at the end of the day, the marine transportation in terms of work on board, marine transportation is usually navigating the ship and the overall operation in the deck department. So, yung mga cargo handling, usually nasa bridge ka, nakatayo, and then pag officer ka. Pero pag rating, syempre, you will undergo yung blood and sweat na sinatawag kanila dun sa main deck na nagtatanggal ng kalawang, nag-pump up and so on. But in the marine engineering side, more on hands-on talaga dun sa operation ng machineries. So magme-maintenance ka ng machineries, madudumihan ka, and then sobrang init. So yan, kung gusto mong pogi, mas dagdag pogi points sa deck. Kung gusto mo talaga na, alam mo yun, yung parang para ako talaga na mapapawisan ka, madudumihan ka din, go for the engine. But ito lang ang magiging payo ko. Right now, the demand for the marine engineering is very high as compared to marine transportation. Kasi marami yung supply natin yun na mag-graduates coming from the marine transportation. So kung gusto mong ayaw mong mahirapan sa paghahanap ng trabaho at mabilis yung career progression, then go for marine engineering. Yun yung aking advice.
Ayan, take it from the very successful engineer Maut Ceballotas. So, yung ating mga young aspirants nating mga seafarers dyan. So, ayan, magkumuha na kayo ng kurso sa maritime engineering. Tama ba? Marine engineering. Sorry, ayan. Marine engineering. Kasi, next episode natin, ang ating guest I think kilala mo din siya, si Chief Engineer Alicia Chomi. So another another from the engine department ng barko yan. So babae din siya.
Pareho kami ng hometown actually from Jensen.
From Jensen. Okay. Yes. So ayan, ating mga Jensen Pips, engineers from the south. So very proud of this alumni, dalawa na to. Very successful both. So, apart from doon, engineer, ano pa yung mga pwede mong i-share sa ating mga tagapakinig?
Siguro, just like two sets advice, alam naman natin lahat na we go to the profession of seafaring because we want the Benjamins or the dollars that comes with it, and then we will eventually have, or we will be able to upgrade our lifestyle, especially our family. But ito ngayon palagi kong advice when it comes sa mga students ko na be more than seafaring. Yun yung sabi ko, be more than seafaring. At the end of the day, kumikita tayo ng malaki, then why not give back to the community? And at your very own little way, or kaya magkaroon ka ng advocacy wherein you can impact positively others and the community. Hindi yung kumikita lang tayo, magpapatayo ng malaking bahay, bibili ng pangalawang sasakyan, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, yung legacy na maiiwan mo ay hindi yung material things, but the positive impact that you have imparted on others. So, yun lang yung palagi ko talaga ini-instill sa kanila. Na huwag magtatapos yung ating profession sa pagbaba sa gangway at pagbili ng mga bagay na kailangan natin at pag-angat sa buhay ng ating pamilya. Yes, importante yun. But after nun, then we have also to give back to the community. So, yun lang.
Ayan, maganda yung mga sinabi mo, Engineer Mauche, kasi ang ating broadcasting is sa abroad. So, I believe and hopefully na-reach natin ang ating mga kababayan abroad like our OFWs. So, in terms like, of course, malaki yung kita natin abroad compared here sa local. So, maganda yung ganyang mga advice coming from you. Ayan. So, ngayon, after this, magkakaroon na tayo ng promotion. So, stay put po tayong lahat.
Walang maiiwan kasama nyo kahit saan dahil pamilya tayo dito. Alagang Amosup sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Ayan, so para naman po sa ating mga ka-Amosup na gustong kumontak, tawag lang po kayo sa Amosup Contact Center. Operating hours for is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Telephone number plus 632-8527-8491 hanggang 98. At pwede rin po kayong tumawag using your mobile phones. For Globe, we have plus 63945-795-5345. At para naman po sa Smart ay plus 63920-437-1496. At para po sa mga ating mga nag-online dyan, of course sa ating Facebook, mag-like and follow na rin po kayo sa ating Amosup Official Facebook page and Amosup Official Facebook group para po kayo maging updated sa ating mga announcements at ating mga kapakontest dyan. Ulit, congratulations po sa ating winners for last month's Alagang Amo Soup Christmas episode. Sana po ay naging maganda po ang inyong pag-celebrate ng Pasko at New Year. And of course, we also have Amo Soup official YouTube channel. Mag-subscribe na rin po kayo dyan sa ating mga pages na yan. And for further updates and details about the union, you can visit our website at www.amosoup.org. Ayan, talaga namang napakaganda ng ating talakayan ngayong araw. Pero bago tayo magtapos, meron bang ikaw gusto pang iparating o mensahe or final message sa ating mga tagapakinig, engineer?
Yun lang, siguro enjoy your profession while you are being at sea. And then kapag ayaw mo nang magbarko, then you can also explore other things in the maritime industry here on shore kasi maraming opportunities. And lastly, yung sabi ko nga kanina, be more than seafaring. Thank you.
Thank you so much sa iyong very inspiring story at inyong very successful career, Engineer Mautse. At dito po nagtatapos ang ating kwentuhan kasama ang ating Kaamo Soup na si Engineer Mautse Bayotas. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay. Salamat sa mga kasama natin sa Radyo Pilipinas. Miss Susan Aizon, Erwin Peñano, Milo Daniela, J. Arevalo at Jerome Toledo. At syempre sa ating special guest muli, maraming salamat sa iyong oras, Engineer. Maraming salamat uli atin sa mga tagapakinig sa pagsubaybay. Talaga naman ating talakayan ngayong araw ay nagbigay diin sa mahalagang papel ng bawat isa sa maritime industry, mula sa mga seafarers, maritime companies, hanggang sa gobyerno. Sama-sama nating maabot ang layunin ng isang patas at maayos na transisyon tungo sa malinis at sustainable na hinaharap. At sa ating mga tagapakinig, mga Kaamo Soup, at sa ating mga kababayan abroad na nakikinig sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo, maraming salamat sa inyong pagsusumikap at sakripisyo para sa inyong mga pamilya at para sa ating bayan. Ingat po kayo palagi at tandaan na kahit nasaan man kayo, may mga organisasyon tulad po ng Amo Soup at mga tao na laging handang tumulong at sumuporta sa inyo. Muli po sa ngalan ni Miss Camille Simbulan, ako po si Lara Sanuan at ito po ang Alagang Amo Soup.
All aboard sa talakayan. Palalimin pa ang inyong kaalaman. Alagang Amo Soup. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.